Hey, welcome to Egghead's Barbecue and Grill mobile kitchen build. This is the next part of our trailer retrofit project. You can see that we've got one sheet of Advantech. Advantech is a structural subfloor that we've already installed on the bottom of the trailer. We're basically beefing up the floor to be able to accommodate all the equipment that's going in there. And you can, well, you can't really see, but I'll show in the next little part as we do the next panel that what we're doing is overlapping the seams of the plywood floor that was already there. So we've glued this one and screwed this one down to the deck. The next stage is to clear that equipment out from up front and put the next panel down. So let's get to it. Okay, this is we're looking at it from the front door now. We can see we've got all the stuff out of there. But the floor's a little dirty. It's got some dirt and some pine needles because we live in Maine, and some other junk. And that has to be cleared out because otherwise the adhesive isn't going to be able to get a full hold if we leave that in there. So let's sweep it out. Okay, so that's better. Let's take a look at this seam. This is the original plywood. It's like 3/8 plywood. It's not very thick to begin with, so that's why we're reinforcing it. And you can see those screws that go into the metal frame beneath, but that's where the seam is between those pieces of plywood. And that Advantech is already covering another seam, and I've spaced it, 2 feet over, so that these 4-foot wide sheets will nicely span and reinforce those seams. You don't want your seams to line up because it just doesn't offer any additional strength in that particular direction. And that's really why we're reinforcing this floor in the first place, is to add some strength. So next step, we've already measured from wall to wall. We'll cut our piece, get that tested, and then we can put the adhesive down. Okay, we've marked the piece. Let's cut her up. All right, we're ready to glue. We're going to use this Liquid Nails subfloor adhesive. Make zigzag patterns on either side of the seam, pretty much anywhere the sheet is going to lay, leaving a little gap because I don't want to seal all the way to the very edge because these are tongue and groove, and so you need it to be able to flex a little bit to get the tongue and groove to join properly. So let's get that all glued up. Okay, so that's all done. It takes pretty much a whole tube of adhesive to do one panel of this stuff, so just plan accordingly. Let's lay it in place. Okay, we've laid it down. Now we just have to join the tongue and groove seam and then put some screws in. So that pretty much does it. That panel is in. We've put a couple lines of screws down on the end. It's important to basically start on one end and kind of work your way over when you have adhesive, because if you put both ends in place and then try to do the middle, you might not have as full contact. So basically you're kind of flattening it out as you go. and that way you get as much adhesive contact as you can. So the additional subfloor coming right along, we just have a little bit at the front to do, and sneak around the corner here, a little bit at the back, and then the subfloor will be in, and we'll be ready to put down the waterproof vinyl, basically that garage floor vinyl I'm going to put in here to serve as a waterproof barrier for any leaks and spills and that sort of thing. But that is it for this little video on the subfloor. We're coming right along with the trailer build, and we will see you next time.